What's guys? So this is a funny one. Got called out by the customer to fit a part to his existing electric shower, which just happened to be a thermal cutout. Now the thermal cutout that he ordered didn't fit his existing, very, very old shower. So I said to him, all I can do is swap it out for a new one. So I swapped it out for the new Tritton TZ80 Fast Fit. Turned it on, it actually started warming up, so I just left. And a couple of hours later, I got a call back there saying the showers doesn't work and it's cold. So I was just like, there's no way that's happening. So I went back around there, tested it out, and it turns out the thermal cutout is the open line. So it's faulty. Now this is where it gets crazier. The actual thermal cutout the guy bought to fix his old shower actually fitted into the new shower. So I fitted that part in this shower, and I thought, sweet, I've done a temporary fix on it, and I'll ring up Tritton, they'll come out, put it right, happy days. So I rang up Tritton, this is hilarious. They said to me that I've had the warranty voided by fitting the other part, and it wouldn't be under warranty, so they're not coming out. However, they're going to do me a massive favour, and they're going to send me out the part so I can drive back there for an hour and fit this replacement part into their faulty shower, and then they're going to give me back the warranty. So this is what a good one should look like, which was a customer one. That's me now with the customer's one in there. And yeah, so basically I've had to go back there to fit this part probably like a week later, which is a bit frustrating and not very good customer service, to be honest with you. The manufacturer sends you out a product, like a faulty part in materials. You expect them to come out, not to try and sling that old chestnut, oh no, you've voided the warranty now, but then to say on the other hand, oh yeah, what we're doing, we're going to do you a favour and we're going to send you it out for free and you just fit the part. So yeah, it's a bit bloody frustrating. But yeah, that was it all done. This one, another one, they said that the heating doesn't seem to come on all the time, but apparently somebody's been round and changed all the zone valves 2 or 3 times apparently to try and get it working, but I went there, it was just a bloody faulty zone valve. Did kind of look like they might have changed the full valves, because that's what my first thought was. I probably ain't changed the full valves, probably put a synchron motor in it or something. But yeah, in the end, just swapped them both out. A little complication, when I turned off the power, I was still getting voltage everywhere. Turns out it's a pretty dodgy fuse spur. So that's a lesson in, don't just turn stuff off and assume they're turned off, because, it's not really worth it. You might as well test it out. Did throw me off for a couple of minutes, to be fair. I thought, what's going on? It was, especially with all of like the wires in that box, I thought, what's gone on here? Is there like a wire wrong or something? Is that why it doesn't always work? But yeah, no, just a dodgy 2-part. So I just swapped them out for some higher quality ones. Or what I think are high quality in there. The Honeywell ones, they don't seem too bad. I'm not quite sold on this EPH stuff just yet. Yeah, this wasn't a bad little job, to be fair. It was a bit tight though, that's my only thing. So it was that tight, I had to start undoing the bloody underfloor heating manifold unions. And when you're doing that, you're just asking for leaks. The fibre washers in them were knackered. Thankfully, I did have a couple on the van to get me out of the shit. But it was just really, really rigid. It's as if like the pipes went in the floor heating underneath the floor, somewhere in like copper almost. It's just so bloody strong to try and get any movement on it. This little job, I didn't actually film all of this one. Well, we'll go back to that in that vibe in a minute, but I've had this problem now a couple of times. You bloody try and put a waist on, we try and put a trap on a waist, it don't bloody fit, because it's got grooves there. And the first time, I drove around for 2 hours trying to find what's effectively a plastic female iron, so that I could screw that onto the waist and then screw my trap onto the waist. And next time I come across it, I thought, hang on a minute, what about if I just cut that top off? So I just cut the top off, actually used my ratchet cutters, did an alright job of it, to be fair. Although I'd probably recommend just using a hacksaw, just so you know you don't get any complications. And yeah, screwed that on lovely. It did hold as well, which I was 50-50 whether it's going to hold. Look at the state of them flexes. I mean, Jesus Christ. Flexes coming out the wall, bent up on the tile. Nightmare. Now, I'd already done this inlet valve, and I thought this is a good thing to show somebody actually. So this Gibrit inlet valve, now that's not, it's half of the one that I bought. Now, when I actually bought this, it looked like that with all the thread on it. But you can just undo that off and kind of put the old connection onto it. So you're still getting your good inlet valve with all the working parts. Just the connection's different. And it's worth trying to look at other different products that you can do this kind of thing with as well. Because one, it can save you a load of hassle. Because I think this was a back-to-wall pan as well. So it can save you having to take a bit of toilet out. So yeah, we just kind of undone the threaded bit off of the new one, put the old connection bit onto the new valve, and then put it back together. I think that was just testing that out. This was a job where I got called out to a waste that was blocked. I don't know if it was this one, but I think they might have actually cut it. Yeah, so on this one, this is how I found this job. The guy had a company out, I think Dynarod or something, try and fix his leak. They put a coupling on there, left this waste in the middle of the cupboard, left his kitchen drawers on the floor, and said, that's the best that we can do. You know, that side of waste has to sit in there just like that. There's nothing we can do with it. It's tough, and then left. So, managed to get a kit in, and then I went and got a space-saving bit as well. Some Calpan, I think SSK1 or something like that. But it went onto a copper waste pipe, and the copper waste pipe was a bit corroded, so I just probably have the problem there. This is another fluid master setup, fluid master side entry and siphon. And again with this, now it would be really awkward to try and get down the side there with my grips and undo the main nut and actually swap out the whole valve. But you can actually just undo this little plastic clip, take out the main part of it, and do the same with your new one and pop it on there, and you're done in like 5-10 minutes. So what I'd suggest is anytime you're buying any parts, have a little look at them and see how they come apart, and see, you know, if you can do it with them and make your life just a little bit easier. At the end of the day, you know, you're still going to like charge the same money, you know, because you know it isn't your fault, but you're just a bit of a better, you know, engineer, or you've got these little shortcuts that can make your life easier and get the job done faster. And you still got to price it as like, you know, you as a person who's going to swap it all out. And effectively you have, you know, you've done a good job of it. It ain't caused any problems. It's all fixed, all up and running, it's all good. Yeah, there's a lot of inlet valves that you can do this with. You can just kind of split them. You know, even just things like your stopcocks, gate valves, you know, all that kind of stuff. You know, if you've got a stopcock that's in a really tight space, or it's on lead, you know, you might be able to just have like the centerpiece undone and just swap that out. It's going to save you all this bloody pain. Just trying to get the flush cable on there. I think at the start I didn't have the siphon positioned right, so the cable was too sharp, but I just turned it around a little bit. That's the little box of goodies. I think I just had to do a bit of adjusting on it as well, because the water level wasn't set correctly. Now we'll always have a little look underneath these, because you twisted that siphon, you know, the basket sometimes turns ever so slightly and you get a bit of a bloody leak, which obviously you don't really want. So it's worth just, you know, if you just have your phone, you put it on video mode with the light on, you know, it's unbelievable the angles you can get that thing into. So just give me a little bit of a tweak there. I just thought of something else, so I just want to add to this. Where I cut that bit off of that trap to make it fit on the waist. Now when you do that, what you might then find is that the nut is too deep. So as you tighten up the nut, it doesn't compress the washer. If it does that, you then just have to cut down the nut so that the threads, you know, so it's only half the amount of threads, and then you'll be able to get it on there. Just thought about that. That's another good little tip though. So yeah, just bear that in mind for that bit. If you cut down the trap, the nut then might be too long, and you might have to cut down the nut a little bit. But quickly, I'm noticing a lot of these rads now got inlet, outlets, tops, bottoms. Now when you get this, you need to look inside the radiator and see if it actually does have a baffle, because some of these radiators actually do not have a baffle. Now that's a baffle there, I can't see through that radiator. So this one, it is quite important that you get the inlet on the right side, which probably isn't any good to you because, no, the baffle's there, sorry. Which probably isn't any good to you because at this point you've drained down the system, you open up the rad and it's got inlet and outlet on it, and you're just like, really? And you kind of take your chances. Now if you do get it the wrong way around, you'll notice it might inconsistently heat up or make some noises. You'd have to take the rad off, spin it around and put it back on. Some of them though don't actually have a baffle in them, even though they've got inlet and outlet on them, I've noticed. You get this also on vertical radiators as well. So if you ever get a vertical radiator that's not really heating up properly, try and look on the top and you might see it's got the top and bottom on it. Now on the vertical ones, if you do think it's not really heating up that well, what you can do is isolate the rad, take the bleed and vent plug out and just look down it. And obviously if you can see some kind of restriction there, like the baffle, you know straight away it's upside down. Some of them actually have stickers on them stating top and bottom. And so if you go down, you see fucking bottom at the top, you know you've got to spin the rad round. And that's some good shit to know. There's not a lot of people that will know that, to be honest. I think this was just me going back to that shower. Just having the parts swapped out. Yeah, it was. So that was the customer's part that he bought to fix his old shower that just happened to fit in the new shower, which is just a bloody miracle. And then that was the new part that thankfully Tritton sent me out for free of charge to go and fit in their faulty shower so we can have a warranty, because they couldn't be asked to come and do it. No, it's a little bit awkward getting it in. What I found is if you kind of have it out in front of you and stick the back connection and then try and set it back in there, but it is bloody fiddly. It's a shit job. It's an easy job, but it's fiddly. Fucking having the screws dropped everywhere. You know, you're trying to get screwdriving on good angles. Just a bit too compact. What I noticed as well, they've got like a yellow as alive, which, at the point when I took it all apart, I was thinking to myself, hold on a minute, I've got another earth wire here. Where did this earth wire go? Then I thought, no, it's not an earth wire, is it? Because it actually goes into the light. And the other side's a grey that's connected to the neutral, so it just must be the live. But yeah, that's another tip. Probably take pictures as you do this kind of stuff. So when you do get it all out in 1,000 pieces, you got a rough idea where it goes. So a bit like I said, really, if you kind of get it out and put them connections on at the back, then try and sit it in where it needs to sit, 'cause it kind of locks underneath that bit and then screws down on the left side. I find that's probably the easiest way to get it in. I mean, I'm kind of a bit of an expert on these now. I've fucking changed it 3 times. But it's really, really fiddly because you've got like the hoops on the cables, and the screws probably about 5mm long, and you're trying to get your fat fingers in on this 5mm screw, hook it onto 3 bloody round hooks, and then screw it in where it needs to go. So yeah, it's just a bit awkward, really. That's just where I was figuring out what this yellow wire was, because it kind of dropped down there. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I think Tritton, the TZ80 is a decent-ish shower. You know, it's half decent quality, not too bad a price, flexible options, left and right cable entry, all that kind of stuff. So it is pretty good. Obviously you get something like the Myra Sports and the Myra Boosts or whatever they are, they're good, but they're always on the left hand side feed. I haven't had a look at a new Myra though, to be fair. I'm not sure if the newer ones are more flexible, but to my knowledge the Myra's was all the left hand feed. But yeah, I hope anyone enjoys that, and yeah, good luck with Tritton.